This is Bob. Bob enjoys some of the geekier things in life, like LARPing, cosplay, and board games. Bob has an idea for the board game. Bob thinks it can't be that hard to make himself. So Bob went and got his materials and disappeared into his little shed. After months of hard, grueling work and a fair few pounds, Bob finally has his finished board game. Bob is very proud of his game. So Bob tried to see if he could get someone to buy his game. He tried big game companies, but they were unimpressed by Bob's prototype. So Bob tried smaller companies, but again, they didn't seem to like Bob's prototype. And so our unyielding hero refuses to give up. Bob tried to sell his game online, but sadly, dear Bob didn't realize the difficulties of selling online. And so again, Bob found himself out of luck. Then things for poor Bob got a little desperate. So after more money and time than dear Bob would like to admit, he finally threw in the towel and went to see his friend Jim. Bob told Jim all about the processes and effort he put into his prototype, and that no one was interested. But what Bob didn't know was that Jim had his own board game design and had just got back from the UK Games Expo, where Jim met Steve, the very helpful man from Ivory. There Steve told Jim the wonders of the Ivory Game Maker. So Jim went away and followed the great advice he'd got from Steve, and soon Jim had a well-designed, solidly crafted prototype made by Ivory. And because Jim chose to add his game to the Ivory shop, commissions started coming in by the day. So Jim told his good friend Bob about the wonders of Ivory. So Bob went away following Jim's advice and visited Ivory with his game design. And before Bob knew it, all his hard work had led to a great-looking prototype. This time, everywhere he took his game, they loved it. And before Bob knew it, he was a hit. If only Bob had gone to Ivory first. Ivory, innovators in cards and games.